What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for watching another video. In my previous one, we listed the 5 things that I love about my Audi A3. In today's video is going to be the 5 things that I don't like about the Audi A3. So let's not waste any more time and get right into it. Alright, so first thing is going to be the cup holders. Now, I understand why the cup holders are here, because you have so much going on in the car, in this section in the center console, but the cup holders, you cannot put any kind of big drink or any. So here's my Dunkin' Donuts cup, right? This is a large. If you want to put a second large, a medium, or even a small, it will not, it'll fit, but it'll be like, if you're on this side, it'll come out like this. And then, you know, you risk spilling or something like that. And also, the worst thing is that if you put, now, this is a large. It is a pretty big cup, but if you want to put like a taller thermos or something into here, it won't work because it's going to crash into the climate control. So, to me, the cup holders, I wish there was an easier way to just, I don't know, just be able to fit cups easier in here, or be able to fit 2 large cups, because even in my Volkswagen, in my TDI, the cup holders are in the middle right here, and you can fit 2 big drinks comfortably. Obviously, there's nothing blocking it up top right here, but I don't know, man. Right here, the cup holders suck in this car. The next thing is the Sunroof Shade. I know a lot of people complain about this, and I thought, oh, maybe theirs is just loose or whatnot. This thing is one of the most annoying things about the car. Even during normal driving, after like 20-30 minutes, this will start to slide by itself. There's times where I'll do a pull in the car and it'll start here and end up like, well, that's a little exaggerated, but like end up over here, and I gotta keep closing it. So there's times I just leave it open to avoid that, but you know, there's sometimes you don't want the sun coming in either. You want it to be a little darker in the car, and understandably you want to close this, but all the time I'm finding myself this being open, this moving back, and I'm always just closing it, which is not a really big deal, but like every single time you drive the car, I'm always moving the sunshade back and forth. So again, something small, little minor detail. It's not a big deal, doesn't make me hate the car, but it is kind of annoying. The next thing is the random rattles that this car has sometimes. I don't know if it's like temperature based, but like up here, sometimes you get, I don't know if you hear that, but like you'll get like weird rattles, or like in the doors, you'll get like some weird rattles sometimes. I hear it come from the back as well, like towards that area, like over here, there'll be like rattles on that door, even sometimes from like the back seat. Now, I don't know if it's just my car, but I do notice sometimes like random just rattles around the car, and I'm like, yo, like this is supposed to be a luxury car, like it really shouldn't have random rattles. And I thought maybe it was stuff that I was carrying in the car, but even just to test it, I pulled everything out of my trunk, I took everything out of the inside of the doors, made sure the car was almost empty with like personal stuff, and it would still make some weird rattling noises. So I don't know if it's just my car, maybe in your car you have that issue too, but the rattling does get a little annoying. The next thing is the trunk size. Now, luckily for me, this isn't my daily driver. I have my wagon, which has a boatload of space in the back, especially when you put the seats down. But let me show you the trunk in this car. Unfortunately, with the A3, the S3, the RS3, we have some pretty small trunks. So mine is a little messy right now. You know, I have a bumper bully, my mats, jumper cables, but there's not much you could fit back here. I mean, if you go grocery shopping, there's no like height for you to like stack your bags up. You can barely put a couple of boxes in here. I mean, yeah, if you put the back seats down, you're gonna have more room, but as far as trunk space, there's really not much when it comes to this car. You get what you get, but again, luckily for me, this is my daily driver. For anybody who's dailying theirs, you know, it kind of sucks if you have to carry a lot of stuff with you. But again, small thing at least for me, but I guess I view it as in, if this was my daily driver car, like how would I feel? And a little more trunk space would be nice. So the last thing about this car that I don't hate it, and it's not that I dislike it, but it kind of sucks, and it has to do with the drivetrain, is the Haldex system. Now, the Haldex system, the all-wheel drive system that Audi and Volkswagen use now, this is in their A3, the S3, the Golf R, for example, it's not a true all-wheel drive system. It's very front-wheel drive based. So now in the older, like the 4Motion and the Quattro style, the original all-wheel drive for those car companies, if I'm not mistaken, it was more of a 60-40. So it would put 60% of the power to the front wheels and 40% to the rear, which gave it almost a balanced like full all-wheel drive system. The Haldex is very, very front-wheel drive based. If you've ever taken your A3, your Golf R, S3 into a corner, you're driving on some back roads, you can kind of sense the car feels like a front-wheel drive car, just because, like I said, the Haldex is very, very front-wheel drive biased. It's not like a true all-wheel drive system. I'm not sure about the percentages. I think it's something like 80-20, like 80 in the front, 20 in the rear, something like that. But there's that. It's very front-wheel drive biased. So, I mean, obviously, like on a launch, for example, the car really won't spin, but there are times where I've launched this car and I do get a little bit of wheel spin. Don't worry, my Haldex, everything, the fluid was changed, the filter was all cleaned out and changed and whatnot. But that's another thing as well, is the services for the Haldex. If you're really pushing the car hard, you got to do Haldex fluid flushes. God forbid the pump goes out, filter gets clogged up. There's things like that. So there's more maintenance on it as well. So it kind of sucks that it's not a true full all-wheel drive system like the old Quattro 4Motion, and plus there's more maintenance to it. So in a way, it kind of sucks. It works great. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I don't hate it, but it would be nice if it was more just a full all-wheel drive, just like the old all-wheel drive systems like Quattro 4Motion was. All right, guys, so it's me from the future. I was editing the video and I realized that I left out something super important. One thing that's annoying that I really don't like about the car, and this is more of an MQB thing overall, is that these cars sound really bad, especially when you do like exhausts. Like, some people straight pipe these, some people do like super loud exhausts, and the MQB platform just does not sound very good. So I recommend, if you have a GTI, a Golf R, A3, S3, etc., you kind of just keep, maybe do like a downpipe with a resonator delete, something like that. That's a very common mod for these cars, because when you really open them up and you make them kind of loud, they do tend to sound pretty bad. So that's one more thing, and I wanted to include that because I know that's a very big topic of debate when it comes to the MQB. Some people love the way they sound. Me personally, I really don't like the way they sound with exhausts. My setup right now is just the CTS downpipe to the stock hatchback, and it sounds okay. I want it a little louder, so I might do the resonator delete. If not, I might take out the secondary cat for off-road use only, of course. So I might do something like that to play with it, to make it a little bit louder, but never, like, this car is not one that I would want to do a loud exhaust on, because they just don't sound good. And I wanted to add that in the video because that's one thing that I feel pretty strongly about when it comes to the MQB, that I just don't think they sound very good. So just wanted to add that. Alright guys, so that's going to conclude the video. Thank you so much for watching. Just because there's little things about this car that I don't like doesn't mean that I don't love it. Everything you love, you're going to not like some things about it. That's just the way it works, especially with cars. Any car that I own in the past and in the future, even if I love them so much, there's always little quirks here and there that are kind of annoying, but you get used to it. So honestly, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please let me know in the comments things that you don't like about your S3 or your Volkswagen, your Audi. What annoying things did the car manufacturer do that kind of annoy you? Let me know in the comments. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It lets YouTube know that I'm doing a good job, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.